Henry! It's the coach. We're set to go. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Arizona Cardinals as they get set to match up against the
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back at StubHub Center in Carson, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Chargers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They go play action here on first down. He dumps it off for Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there. They just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's more on 1st and 10. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
More now to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. That's caught right side by Anderson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, Got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Moore now. Hauled in by Anderson left side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's three.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Moore. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. Touchdown, Cardinals. In for the score. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Ray does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now back to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Joey Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st and 10, Moore. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Chargers. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Throw left side complete. It's Chavez. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. 83 yards. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Throwing on first down. Moore. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Moore throwing again. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Now Moore to throw on 3rd down. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before the... Work it across midfield. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Moore. Off the bootleg. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the group.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Moore, operating from the gun. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Man open left side, it's Williams. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
To Shepard, complete over the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Sterling Shepard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
The Charger offense making their way back out there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Justin Houston in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Moore. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Anderson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. More now. Throwing on 1st down. Room to run inside the 40. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Detroit!
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, a 22. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now let's go. 3, 9.
On 3rd down, Henry. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. An update from Denver. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. On 1st down, Moore. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
Moore from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Moore, a final shot before break. They've got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Moore. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. To throw is Moore. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Moore operating from the gun. And he's going to go down again.
To me, the defense was a little gas near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. But both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave them some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
T.J. Watt coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades to be handed out thus far.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
All right, now,
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. More now on 1st down. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Moore going for it all. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Moore on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Set. 3-19.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 15 yards on that one, and a Charger 1st down.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Again to Henry. And an alley to run. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Chargers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Set. Blue 90. Blue.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now a carry for the former first-round pick of the Chargers. It's Melvin Gordon. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Melvin Gordon, 91 yards. And the Cards continue to pour it on. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball in that stage from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now a play fake here on first down. And look at that, a diving catch. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
To me, there's nothing like watching rookie effort in the NFL. So excited to be there. They're going to give you the max on each and every play, aren't they?
Well, he proved himself on that catch, that's for sure.
I think he may have proved himself to the point where he's going to get a second here.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big time.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Miles Jack. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this context.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Moore. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Moore. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter from Oakland. And that lead there for the Rams has extended. They just scored again. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. Space to maneuver at the 40. Derrick Henry all alone. And all the way down to the 5. It's a big run that time by Henry. 68 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Goes underneath for Henry. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll get it up the middle. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's Henry. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now fourth down and goal.
Let's just give credit where it belongs. The defensive front has out-leveraged the offensive guys trying to block them. We often say low man wins in tough situations. That's exactly what's happened here. 3 straight runs, and they haven't been able to get into the end zone.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 52 yards. They come up in an offset eye.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. 26 Mike.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he's he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Melvin Gordon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cardinals add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough. As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Armstrong. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They set up the screen for Henry. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Chavez. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it again with Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
He'll look to throw. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Oh, the Chargers are pointing, and they've got it. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes, it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 44 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw is Moore. To throw on second down. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. And it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Moore now, looking for Shepard deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may beat up with this team again.
And he comes back with one complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. To throw now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's more on first and 10. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cards, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the home team,